Hi, and welcome back to It's Not Rocket Science 5 Questions Over Coffee. I haven't actually got a coffee in front of me. This is a lemon tea. Sneha, I believe you've got something in front of you at the moment. So, Sneha, welcome to It's Not Rocket Science 5 Questions Over Coffee.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Sneha is a TEDx keynote speaker. She is a coach and advisor on employee engagement, work culture, and she works with people to get them into a great flow state as part of their work. So, Sneha, welcome to the podcast. We're looking forward to hearing what you've got to say.
Thank you so much, Stuart. I'm sure this is going to be a fun conversation.
So I mentioned then the sort of problems that people have getting into a sort of their state at work. What are the issues that you see with people when they are working suboptimally, and CEOs find that they don't have optimal engagement from their people?
Thank you. So, think about this particular employee. Okay, imagine an employee who has just gotten started in their career. Now, they're not signing up for that first job of the career thinking that they are doomed to fail, right? They are thinking, I would love to give it my everything. I would like to give it my best. I would like to perform at my peak and see where this is going to take me in my career. But flash forward to a year or two in, you don't see the same amount of enthusiasm and engagement in that employee. And this is where businesses suffer. They think they're hiring great people for these jobs. And then a few months in or a year in, they see the productivity slacking. They see engagement levels dropping. And that's what a lot of business owners and CEOs are worried about. We thought we were hiring all stars, and now they are on the verge of leaving. And worse, if they're not leaving, they're just coasting here at work. Studies show that the American workforce on average spends less than 4 hours being productive during a workday, which
Wow.
is just astonishing. Yes.
Wow.
So those are the challenges that businesses are currently facing. You have on one side a leader that wants extraordinary results but is not getting them through the workforce. On the other hand, you have an employee who is feeling dull, exhausted, not very engaged at work. And everything I talk about is how do we make sure that these two things are occurring harmoniously at,
Mm,
at work.
mm. So what are the things that CEOs are trying to do to get that back, which are not working?
Yes. So one of the things that CEOs typically tend to do is they go to their HR department and they say, hey, we would like to increase our engagement levels. We want to keep our employees happier and more satisfied. And what the HR department comes up with is, sure, let's have Taco Tuesdays and free Pizza Fridays, or have ping pong tables in lunchrooms. And somehow they would think that the dissatisfied and disengaged employees would magically become 100% engaged at work. And the problem is they don't. These are simply band aid fixes that help in the short term, but not in the long term. So
Mm.
if I'm an employee and I'm dissatisfied, I see, free pizza Friday, and that's going to momentarily make me feel, oh, okay, this place has its own perks. But the moment a shiny new object passes by, so in other words, a recruiter with a better package tries to poach them, they are ready to jump ship like that. So I like to compare this with relationships. So trying to keep your employees happy and satisfied using these band-aid fixes is like dating. But what we are really looking for is not dating. We're looking to put a ring on the finger. We're looking to get them feel committed and engaged to the larger organizational goals here. So when I work with CEOs, I clearly distinguish that, hey, we're not looking to make them happy and satisfied, because that's not going to contribute to productivity. That's not going to contribute to create them being creative and innovative and more raising the bar at work. We are looking to get them feel more engaged and committed to understand what their personal goals are and how they connect to the larger organization picture. And that's when leaders are just like, they stop dead in their tracks and they're like, what? Were we thinking about the wrong thing all this while? Were we measuring the wrong things all this time? So, for example, when they implement engagement surveys, they're really measuring happiness and satisfaction and not really engagement. So, that self awareness, I feel, is the first step to going down in the right direction towards building that higher performance and engagement in employees. And that's the aha moment for leaders.
And is there one piece of advice or valuable offer you can give people to really sort of help them get that message?
Absolutely. And I have this message both for employees as well as leaders. So think about this. If you are spending all of these hours, we spend more time at work than we spend with ourselves or with our loved
Mm.
ones. And those are all the hours that you could be smiling, you could be engaged, you could be passionate, you could be committed at work. And unfortunately, that's not the case for many employees and in many businesses. So, the one piece of advice that I would love to give to leaders as well as employees is that when you can feel alive at work, why not chase that feeling? When you can make your work feel not like work, make your work feel more effortless, why not chase that? And that is where the whole concept of flow state comes into picture. A flow state, as described by positive psychologists, is a point in time where your mind and your body are performing at their optimal levels because you're so engrossed in what you're doing. Your attention is at its peak. Your performance and your creativity levels are at their peak. So this state is the only time when an individual can perform in the highest possible manner while their stress levels are the lowest. Isn't that what we all want at work, to be producing amazing results while not burning out? That's what employees want, that's what leaders want. So how do you create the conditions of flow at work? Employees, two things: look for things that you love to do at work and try as much as possible, try to do them in the way you love to do them. Add more drive to your work, do more of the things that you love to do, and add more authenticity at work. Try to do them as much as you can in the way you love to do it, in your most natural state. And that is the exact same advice that I would love to give leaders too. How well do you know your employees? How driven do they currently feel at work? How comfortable are they feeling in order to bring their whole selves, their authentic selves at work? And I'm not asking you to change jobs overnight. That's not what I'm asking you to do. But adding a little bit more and more drive and authenticity to what people are already doing, that's going to make a ton of difference. That's going to help them get into that flow state more often, spend more time in it, and hence you get extraordinary business results and happy, engaged employees.
Good advice. Is there a book or a course that really sort of led you to understand, particularly this flow state that you're talking about?
Absolutely. There are two gurus really that I follow in this space. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, who's considered the grandfather of flow. So he
Hmm.
has a book called Flow. Definitely, it has all the foundations and the neuroscience behind a flow state. I would love to recommend this to your audience. And
Hmm.
the other prominent figure in this field that I highly follow the work of is Stephen Kotler. He has done amazing research and really addresses individuals who want to peak their performance while decreasing those stress and burnout levels. All that I'm doing is taking all of their research and their work and bringing it into a more corporate setting to help leaders and employees experience this in everyday work, really.
Brilliant. Sneha, that we're coming towards the end of my five questions to you, and the fifth question is the one that I often use to sort of, as I say, get out of jail free. And it's my opportunity to say there must be a question that you wish I had asked you by now already, and I haven't asked it. So I'm going to ask you, what is the question that I should have asked? And then obviously you have to answer it because you're the only one here who can answer that question.
Absolutely. The question I would love to be asked any day in any conversation is, what do people care about at work?
Mm. And what do people care about at work?
You might think maybe it's their paycheck, maybe it's connection, community. There's all sorts of different answers that you could get from different guests on your podcast for this question. But I would argue that in the basic terms, we spend close to 100,000 hours at work in our lifetime. If you do the math of 40 hours per week on average, close to 100,000 hours at work in a lifetime. That's equivalent to 11 years of your life. And no person is thinking that, oh, I wish I spent these 11 years making as much money as possible or have as many connections as possible. No, what they're looking for is, I would love to enjoy and have fun in these 11 years of my life. That's what it really comes down to. What they really care about at their core level is for work to not feel like work, to work to be feeling like play, to work to feel like effortless.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what people care about.
That's brilliant, and I love the way that you put it. That's brilliant. Sneha,
Thank you,
thank you
Stuart.
so much for spending a few minutes with us and for talking us through this stuff. I love what you're saying. Listen, everyone, if you would like to get onto the mailing list and hear about the upcoming talks that we've got with people such as Sneha, please go to this link. That's https // link thecompleteapproach.co.uk /newsletter. That's just a simple form. You just put your email address in, you'll get onto the newsletter list, subscribes you to the podcast. You will get to see brilliant talks like this coming up. And if you've liked this, please like and subscribe and recommend it to your friends and family. Sneha, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. Really appreciated the insights that you brought about how to get our work culture to be something more like that flow state that you so advocate. Thank you so much.